A civilization is a way of life, but a culture is what you do to make that life beautiful. And of course, the job of an architect, and it's been my job, is to try and make that way of life beautiful.
Perhaps the greatest architect of the 20th century, and you see him behind me, he's 88-year-old Frank Lloyd Wright. Admirers hail him as a man 100 years ahead of his time.
America's foremost architect, Mr. Frank Lloyd Wright.
You account for some of the things which are fundamentally your own innovations in architecture.
Well, very, very difficult and be a long story, too, perhaps too long for this.
I've been a fan of Frank Lloyd Wright pretty much my whole life. It's like art to me, and it's always about glass and wood and real raw structures. Everything is always more than just a building with Frank Lloyd Wright, especially with his homes. You know, it really was about being one with nature and trying to get that part of our lives connected. I own a Frank Lloyd Wright house called the Penfield House. Being responsible for a Frank Lloyd Wright home, to be a part of that legacy, to take care of this home, is exciting, and it's also very stressful and nerve-wracking. Frank Lloyd Wright only designed a few hundred homes, and not all of them are still standing. It was really the wealthy that could afford his homes. But in his latter years, he designed smaller homes so that middle America, somebody like you and me, could afford one. But to me, they're just as beautiful as the bigger, magnificent homes. He really wanted most of America to live this way. We bought the property in 2018 from Paul Penfield, whose family built the home. I had no intentions of buying a Frank Lloyd Wright house. I literally stumbled across this ad. 30 acres to play on the river, which is amazing. And on top of that, it had 2 other houses that would work for our family. And then the unbuilt River Rock project, Frank Lloyd Wright's last design from 1959, which were found on Frank Lloyd Wright's drawing board when he passed away. It had never been built. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy that we have plans that were sitting on his desk when he died. My name is Sarah Dykstra, and I live next to my mother.
And I'm the mother, Debbie Dykstra, living next door to my daughter, Sarah.
Ooh, we got the site plan first. I love this one. So I wrote Paul Penfield, and in that letter, I made our intentions clear that we were going to build River Rock, and our goal was to do it within 5 years. I think I did actually win him over, and we closed the deal.
Well, it's been over 6 decades since Wright designed River Rock.
We have a spec book we have to follow, but building codes have changed, and there's going to be products in there that are just not available now. Cement asbestos boards.
No, we aren't using those.
On top of all that, we have a very strict budget, and we have a 1-year timeline.
And here's our little red square that says this is a Frank Lloyd Wright design.
It's not going to be easy, but we're determined to build the last Wright.
Here's one.
Grab that one, Mom.
That's too flat. What?
Grab that triangular one. I'm an IT professional, and I definitely have no business building the last Frank Lloyd Wright house.
I'm retired, so I have no business building it either. But I come from a family that has been in the building business for over 100 years. So maybe there's a little bit of that in me. My grandfather was a builder. My father followed in his footsteps, and so did one of my brothers, Billy. Growing up, I really wanted to go into the building business, but my dad and brother just took those reins and just ran with them. Back then, we were always supposed to bake cookies, wear an apron, and stay in the kitchen.
Yeah, stay in your lane.
Stay in my lane. So being able to participate in this project with my daughter is like a dream come true.
You and I are doing this project together, and nobody in the whole wide world will ever be able to do it again. We are the only ones that get to build Frank Lloyd Wright's last design. Like, that's just crazy.
It is crazy.
River Rock House is just over 2,000 square feet, 220 tons of stone. 15-foot mullions and glass to match the wood finishes inside. A signature Frank Lloyd Wright red heated floor, and 164 feet of turquoise metal roof. Our goal is to take 1 year to build the house and to build it exactly as Frank Lloyd Wright intended. I mean, the man is a genius. Who am I to change the plans of somebody who built the Guggenheim Museum in Falling Water?
We both feel honored to take on this build, but there is so much pressure, a lot of pressure.
We see River Rock as a historic treasure from America's greatest architect, but it's also a chance for us to leave our own legacy. So here we are at the beginning of our journey, and we're about to meet up with Paul Penfield, whose family built the Lewis Penfield house.
Hi there.
How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Okay.
Great to see you.
Yeah,
Hugs
good
all
to
around,
good.
hugs
Yeah,
all
yeah.
around, hugs all around. Remember this place?
I remember it only too well.
This is a binder that you left me.
Yeah.
Taliesin Architects, Eugene
Maslin?
Meslink.
Yes, he was the secretary to Frank Lloyd Wright.
My dad and Eugene Maslin were students together at Ohio State.
Okay.
Goes back to when he first got an introduction to Wright.
In he walks. How is he dressed? Beret, flowing cape, a cane. To me, it was like God had walked through the door, you know?
And what did you think when you met Mr. Wright? Or were you too young and you're kind of like, eh?
Oh, no, I
Or
knew he was
Yeah.
a big wheel, you know?
Right.
So I watched him very intently.
I'll look at him and I say, Mr. Wright, would you be interested in designing a house for someone as tall as I am, 6'8"? When I stretch, I don't want my hands going up through the ceiling. He said, don't worry about a thing. A person should have their home fit their needs and desires. That's his philosophy, and that's what he did.
Did you live here as a kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we moved into this while it was still unfinished. And then my parents had opened a discussion with Wright about, can you design us another second house? He was a little reluctant at first, but I think he saw my parents as true Wright fans, and so he wasn't going to turn them aside. But the guy like Wright, he's constantly busy. His life is filled with projects. So we didn't hear anything. And then the word arrived that Wright had died.
America's most famous designer of buildings is dead. 2 months before the 90th birthday he hoped so badly to reach, he left some 700 monuments to his vision and dedicated idealist to the last.
That must have been devastating to your dad.
Well, yeah. My dad thought River Rock House, and it will never happen. But about a week later, the plans for River Rock arrived in the mail. They were on the drawing board when Wright died. We just couldn't believe it. But there it was, all laid out, Wright's last residential commission. So it was quite a turnaround for my dad. He would have loved to have built River Rock with rock from the river. But then the problem was, where do we get the money to build this? So it went on the back burner, and the back burner is where it was up until you came along.
In this first letter, they say $25,000 proposed cost of the house.
Oh, wouldn't it be great?
Sure would.
Imagine.
You can't even buy a car for that.
No. But back then, that's what they expected it to cost.
Back in 1960, it could have been possible.
Duchess.
This
Rendition.
is the drawing. That's what came first, right?
Yeah. For River Rock House, Wright did something apparently that he was renowned for. He would pick out an aspect of the original site upon which he would base his design, which way the house would face, how close it would be to this and that and the other. And he chose a tulip tree on the property. This will be an interesting project because there's so much historical importance to it. It's going to be part of American heritage.
My history teachers will be so proud. So this is the clearing.
Back then, there were hardly any trees here.
And so Lewis, when he wanted the second house, created a site plan and named some things that were out here. This is the tree that's to the right with some of the dead limbs off the base is the tree that Frank put on the plan and went off of that tree, a certain degree, certain footage. We've come back with Paul and verified this tree being the one that this whole house was focused on. We were concerned about the health of the tree. Obviously, this tree is now 70 years old. So we're gonna have to protect it because all the machines and such can cause damage to the roots even if they're not close. So we're gonna have to do a lot of protection of that tree because it's about to become a very famous tree.
Our first big decision is going to be where do we actually put this house? It's specified to go off this tulip tree, but we've had people advise us take it down or move it.
The house, not the tree.
Yeah, not the tree, move the house.
I think that we'll just need to decide what's right in our gut, whether or not we stick to the plan or if we deviate for the sake of a tree. This is our first big decision, and we're not sure what we're gonna do yet. All we need is, you know, this lovely famous tulip tree, and then 2 years later, there's no lovely famous tulip tree. So clearly we're not going to build this house alone. So we've teamed up with coordinating architects, Joe Myers and Rob Shearer, because they're local, so they'll be able to get through the local processes more efficiently than possibly somebody that was out of town or out of state. And their passion for Frank Lloyd Wright, as well as understanding the importance, the monumental importance of this build.
We still have an architecture review board coming down. Rob and I have gone through the drawings and looked for all the little details that we think need to be addressed for them to grant the application.
Lewis and Paul were both amazing artifact gatherers and collectors in a very organized way.
Yes.
So we have that one binder, and we also have the spec book, and we're like, holy cow, this is like the Bible here.
Yeah.
For River Rock, we have a full specification book. There's actually specified manufacturers, products, paint numbers, and a lot of those don't exist now. So part of this process is to find the alternate if it wasn't called out.
There's a lot of
There's
detailed
a lot of
information
detail here.
So we're going to get excerpts out of the spec book to find what it is exactly we're looking for. The details, the stone, the color of the concrete. There is no Philippine mahogany available anymore. It does seem like we could get red cypress.
Now, is that a change from the plan?
It's equally as good of a product. Noah's Ark was built out of red cypress, so if his ark handled 40 days of that kind of a storm, the house will be able to handle it as well.
Still go back to the art of the house is not going to change. It's the engineering, which he would have gone
There's
and
a full
done
set of plans that
anyway.
details all the furniture, all the cabinetry, all the everything in the house.
And the plan is for it to be exactly like that.
As best we can do it.
As best we can do it.
What we really want to do is keep anything that you can see as authentic as we possibly can. And if we have to change a little bit of structure here and there behind the scenes, that's, you know, in my mind, those things that we can't see, if those change a little bit just to make it easier to construct, or, you know, because the materials are now different than they were then, or that company went out of business, or however that works, is that okay? I kind of imagine it is, but this is probably one of those things that Mr. Wright would have looked at in the field and said, well, you just do this and that and that.
And it's done.
And it's done, yeah. Unfortunately, he's not here to tell us, though, so we got to figure it out.
So we've been looking at the plans for River Rock, and everything is very narrow and awkward.
And it's hard to feel what it's really going to look like. So we found this place called Walk Your Plans, and they put it on the floor of a gymnasium, and you can actually walk through the house as though it were built.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Joe.
Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
I do. I'm Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to Walk Your Plans. Well, what we do is we take architectural blueprints and project them to scale, so that you can actually walk your plans before you build, kind of see how the space is going to look and kind of what the final product is going to be like.
we're bringing along our architect, Joe Myers, and Patrick Clunan, who's giving us some landscaping ideas.
This is the entryway.
Right.
But as you turn the corner, the kitchen itself, which is completely enclosed in stone and tall with the light coming through, so it's well lit for being in the middle of the house with no windows.
Get out of my kitchen.
I gotta get
out of my kitchen.
Oh, they got to squeeze by.
the sink would be worse.
Yeah. Frank Lloyd Wright thought of kitchens as workspaces. He actually calls them workspaces on the plans. And so they're very tight and small compared to modern standards.
As you turn the corner, the great room.
This is going to be very dramatic.
Ceiling's tall, glass is tall. You see the meadow.
The room is designed to showcase the landscape around the house, with floor-to-ceiling glass and wooden mullions that complement the red concrete floor. The built-in banquette provides seating as well as storage. And then on the opposite wall is a beautiful fireplace and a stone hearth we plan to make with the rock that Lewis pulled out of the river in the 60s.
It's not a big house, but this is a big room.
This is a big room.
It's going to feel very spacious. And
Especially with the high ceiling and all the glass that you have.
Do we want to slide this now to see the bedrooms?
Yeah.
Right there.
That's good.
That's good.
So there's actually a couple steps up going this way.
The house will have 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Each bedroom has custom beds and built-in cabinetry, and 2 of the bedrooms have desks.
So the bed goes this way?
The bed, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the bed is against that wall, and all along this is built-ins with drawers and cupboards, so this is like your dressers and everything, so there's no other furniture. Guest bath for anybody else in the house, but also the bedrooms.
That's a tub. It's not even a 30-inch shower.
Not going to get 2 people in this one.
The bathrooms, like the kitchens, are very small in nature. He was very into function. So this is bedroom number 2, with 2 fulls or 2 twins?
2 twins.
2 twins, okay. It just feels so tiny. It feels like a tiny little building. And the hallways and the bedrooms, everything feels so narrow. But at the same time, we have to be authentic to Frank Lloyd Wright in this design. So we go with narrow.
And you got this.
Right.
And nobody else has this.
Nobody.
But you.
Don't have it yet.
Yes, you will, though. You will.
You don't have it yet. We don't have Frank Lloyd Wright to talk to about building or feeling or nature or anything like that, so we really just need to capture that for ourselves as much as we can, and where else better to go than his most iconic home. I can't believe Falling Water is only 2 hours from us.
It feels like we're almost there.
I mean, it's so much closer than
you realize.
Right. And so we're gonna go to Falling Water, and we're hoping to make some decisions about our tree and if we're gonna move that house or not.
Well, there was a rock bank beside the waterfall, and the natural thing seemed to be to cantilever the house from the rock bank over the fall. Of course, Mr. Kaufman loved the side where the house was built, and he liked to listen to the waterfall. So that was a prime motive in the design.
So where did all the rhododendrons come from?
They're all native to the landscape. Wright always said this was one of the few works of architecture that you hear before you see, because it's designed to what he called the music of the stream, the rushing water. Everything about the architecture is about that interaction between human habitation and the natural world, responding to the colors and sounds and smells of nature and embedding all of those into the design of the building. So you have Penfield House, and you're crazy enough to want to build another Frank Lloyd Wright house?
We didn't build the first one, so we have to have our own experience about it.
You have to have your own experience. It's going to be quite the process, which I'm sure you're aware of. I will love to see it. I'd love to see it along the way.
Yeah.
And how you navigate all of these. The challenges that you'll encounter building a Frank Lloyd Wright design are probably to the 10th power.
We can do it. Let's do knuckleheads.
Well, and Wright loved that entrepreneurial spirit of his clients.
The goal is to make it the same. I know that we have different codes and different materials.
Right. Well, you couldn't build Falling Water today with the building codes.
Right.
So you have to adapt your plans somewhat.
The whole time we're like, what would Frank do? What would Frank do? What would Frank do? Like, how do we have to put ourselves in his brain? How did they find this spot?
This whole landscape was this great kind of summer camp. So the Kaufmans that owned Kaufman's department store started leasing the camp for the employees to get out of the smoke of the Steel City. They fell in love with the landscape.
Yeah.
And they started wanting something more permanent than the prefabricated cabin that they had because the family was so much lovers of nature. So this whole idea of letting nature's own design elements and principles inspire the form of architecture that Wright was preaching really connected with the Kaufmans. This house was instantly famous. Before the house was finished, it was on the cover of Time magazine.
Wow.
Well, the engineers that were brought out before construction here for whatever form of permitting there was in the 1930s advised against building. You know, the subsidence of the water rushing could eventually cause the waterfall to collapse. The boulders on the site shouldn't be used for foundation for a building. And of course, Wright ignored all of it and slaps the house right on top of the waterfall. Those main cantilever beams started to fall right after they took the original formwork away.
Right.
The house started to sag. And the Kaufmans always questioned this. And they're like, are you sure these cantilevers are going to stand up over time and not collapse into the stream?
Right.
And Wright reassured the Kaufmans from day one, it's just the house settling and adjusting itself. Everything is fine. But like you're going to have to do, we've had to supplement that original engineering with modern technology to ensure that the house doesn't fail. The skin is the same.
Right.
We've hidden that new technology out of view so as not to disrupt the original design intent of the architecture.
Similar here, but not. Our roof is 160 feet long.
Like a sail. Cantilevers over the edge.
Yeah. And we have a tulip tree that the whole house is oriented off of. So it's a certain number of feet. Of course, the tree's a little bigger now.
So here at Falling Water, he used the line of the waterfall as his drafting line on the drafting table.
Oh my God.
And that gave him the orientation of the whole house, which was a perfect southern exposure, which is what you want for any house where you're enjoying the outdoors.
We have the original spec book, and it called for regional stone.
Well, this is all Pottsville sandstone. It was all quarried from the site.
Oh, wow.
And we have some Cherokee red we have to deal with.
The color here was believed to be matched to a Native American pot, and that was the red used for the steel here.
Wow.
So would you like to go inside and see some of the interiors?
Yes.
Okay, all right, let's do that. Here's the hidden entry into Falling Water.
Yes, hidden entry. And here we are.
I got the huggy feeling again.
You did?
Yeah, and a little bit of tingles.
Oh, jeez.
So this is one of the most iconic spaces in American architecture. Frank Lloyd Wright's main contribution to the modern movement is that open plan, or what he called breaking down the box, right? So getting rid of partitions between spaces for different uses.
Yep.
So our dining room flows into our living room, flows into our office, flows into our
like
entertainment space. And he lifts the ceiling up a little bit here in the middle of the space, but then drops and folds the ceiling down again. And the whole point of that is to make sure that your eye goes to the main attraction, nature outside.
Right.
There's not a lot of wall space throughout Falling Water to even hang art because nature is the artwork.
Right.
So large expanses of glass, which I know Penfield has those monumental
and so does
wall
River
of
Rock.
glass, and River Rock will have.
What is this?
What is this?
Yes.
So this is the hatch.
The hatch.
So the Kaufmans looked at Wright when they saw this and the plans and, what are you doing?
Right.
Why do we have this in our house? But Wright said this was essential to the design of the living room. It connects the inside space directly with the inspiration of the architecture, which is the stream below it. And can you feel the cool air coming up?
I was just going to say, it has
It's like
to
the
cool
natural
this.
air conditioning system, but you also feel the moisture on your skin. You hear, obviously, the stream.
And does it keep it insulated enough in the winter?
It does. It does.
That was crazy.
We don't have a lot of toys in architecture, but this
is definitely one of them.
Pretty good one.
A toy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God, it's like 10 degrees cooler down
Much
there.
cooler down here.
That is amazing.
It's almost like you're in a grotto down here.
Oh, it is, for sure.
Seeing how that home was built over water and the story behind it and the time period that it was just an engineering feat. And it seems like every single time there's a reason that he does something. We don't have him here to talk to or ask, but we seem to uncover the reasons as we go along. The big question is, do we leave the River Rock house where it is on the site plan? being at Falling Water just makes us more determined to stick to the authenticity.
I could listen to this all day long.
I'd like to have architecture that belonged where you see it standing and was a grace to the landscape instead of a disgrace. And the letters we receive from our clients tell us how those buildings we built for them have changed the character of their whole life and our whole existence.
Bella!
Because of the small town that we live in, they have an architectural review board. And
Yes.
by small town, I mean 10,000 people. And the review board is a very big stickler on what it's supposed to look like. So it's going to be interesting when we take our plans there as to how they feel about it.
We're presenting them with the greatest architect in American history. I'm not making fun of our architectural review
No.
board. I just think it's like, really, what are you guys gonna say?
Change the
Change
color,
the
of the
color?
roof, of the roof. So today, our architects have to bring us some samples to present to the review board. And we're going to meet them here at Penfield.
Come here, Belle.
When we go to the architectural review board meeting, we need the stone and the color of the pavement. Frank had a signature red that he talked about. Rob actually has it in the spec book, a description of what that red is. Of course, it's a company that doesn't exist anymore, and so we suspect that this is probably the color because he used it in this house. So we wanted to match the red to this.
Rob's the
Outside
man.
is kind of worn and dusty and dirty, so our best match is to go inside and take a look at it in there.
And then it's the building department of Lake County to determine the codes.
Correct.
That might be where we might run into bigger problems between the 1959 plans that Frank drew versus the 2023 that we're submitting, even though we're submitting originals with supplemental drawings.
I'm just gonna grab some reds out of here and start matching them and see what happens. Yeah.
Blue one right there on top.
So
that's not working.
way too purple. That's way too pink. That's not bad.
This is too,
Yeah, it's too deep. Too
yeah, it
deep
is.
of a red.
It looks like
This
a
is a
Ralph
little-
Lauren red.
Yeah.
Mauve. No.
None of these work.
Yeah, these are just too,
They are
too
just
bright.
bright and
Yeah.
ugly. This looks like baby poop. This, I don't know, no. So we have these two. And this
That's
one
too
actually
purpley.
goes the best. And I think this one will actually look more brown when you put it
Yeah,
against
with the
rock.
rock.
Yeah,
So
it will go well with the rock.
there's our choice as of right now.
Right.
So our winner is Roycroft Copper Red.
That's a perfect color. What's next?
We're going to stop at the little stone studio and talk about the local stone. Fortunately, the Penfields had started to gather stone locally, the way Frank Lloyd Wright would, and put together some structures that would really give us a good idea of what the stone should look like. This stone was taken out of the river, but the Army Corps of Engineers doesn't allow you to take stone out of the river anymore because it could alter the flow of the river. This is a good example of color and the type of sedimentary stone that it is. But, you know, some of these smaller stones would be a little smaller than what the spec was.
For building stone under the spec, it says local stone as approved by architect, quarry or seam faced, squared, length not less than 5 to 6 times height. So, as if this is 3 inches, then the length of the stone has to be at least 3 times 5 or 15 inches.
15 inches.
Yeah.
Can it be longer?
It could be longer. So it's at least,
at least.
5 to 6 times.
So we're going to take a photograph of this and bring it to the review board meeting.
Look, Sari,
Yes, Mother.
this is going to be good. I mean, it does look good with this.
And it looks more red out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. We think we found the right color red, and we're going to be taking another rock that Lewis pulled out of the river to the board meeting, because that is the colors that we're going for.
There you go, perfect.
So we're going to the architectural review board, and they are still making me a wee bit nervous that they're gonna deter our timeline, which deters our finances, and it just sets the whole thing down the wrong path.
So next on the agenda is the proposed River Rock house. Ms. Sarah Dykstra.
I'm nervous that they're going to come up with something somewhere that somebody's going to have to go fix.
The proposal is to build the last Frank Lloyd Wright house. This will be at the original location intended for this house, designed in 1959 for Lewis Penfield by Frank Lloyd Wright.
And it's going to take 6 months. It's going to take 12 months. It's going to take 18 months to get our permit. So yeah, that makes me really super nervous. Well, the house showed up with our purchase from Paul Penfield. So here we are trying to kick this off with my mom and I, and are trying to lead the charge here with our building team. And I'm gonna let them do all the details on that, but the exciting part of the project is this one and I have been talking about for a number of years. So we're pretty excited, trying to be not too excited, because we still have to get approved. Now, we've mandated our architects to, if there are changes, do them under the skin so we don't see them, so that it is authentic, so that, especially that it looks authentic. And so to think that the board might want us to alter that, that just would break my heart. To take this piece of art and to have them change it would be very hurtful. That would suck.
Would like to build the house according to the original plans drawn by Frank Lloyd Wright. So the elevations and trim work and stuff are according to these drawings. We're working with a structural engineer who's doing a set of drawings as an addendum to those original drawings that's going to address current building code. Sure, when you signed up, you never thought you would be critiquing a Frank Lloyd Wright house. So the house itself is very organic, blends into the scenery of the lot itself, and kind of grows out of the hillside, all horizontal lines. And we also have a specification book that was put together by Frank Lloyd Wright that has detailed information about what the stone is supposed to be, what wood is supposed to be used to create all the trim and things. And so we've been following those specifications as best we can.
You probably want to change a couple things, like where it says your expansion joint is cement, asbestos, board. Probably,
Yes.
yeah, that'd probably be a good change. And then adding some flashing in your walls. I mean, I've seen the sections and there's no flashing anywhere for the water to get out.
I just want to make sure that the house can be built as it's shown.
Agreed.
I want to see something from the Lake County Building Department that they're okay with it.
Okay.
And that it matches what you submitted here.
Okay.
Thank you to all of you for your investment in the community. So I'll make the motion to approve the River Rock House as presented, subject to addressing comments from the city engineer, the lot split, and meeting the requirements of the protected area permit.
Did it. You guys did it for sure.
Thank you.
Yep. Long time.
It's happening.
We haven't paid for it yet. This is a big mile marker tonight.
Yeah,
this is the biggest one we're going to really cross.
Quite a hurdle today.
Oh, you bet it was.
That was a hurdle.
Gee.
A lot more work, though. Just the beginning.
To Frank Lloyd Wright.
Frank Lloyd Wright. Cheers.
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 Everybody.
Congratulations.
Cheers.
Bells, let's go.
Good news is we just got approved, and we're gonna stake the house. So we're gonna see it sitting on the property where it's meant to be, and we'll see how that looks. It'll be the first time that we really get a good feel of it on the land.
This is the site plan. This is how we're facing is this way. The original Frank Lloyd Wright plans showed these two trees. And on the plan, it referenced this tulip tree here.
We were concerned about the health of the tree. We did have our landscaper take a look at it. He is a botanist, and he thinks the dead limbs are because the base of the tree is so shaded, because at the top of the tree, it's very healthy.
So let's see how it's going to lay out.
What if I break my finger?
I'd sue the property owner.
Don't miss.
Today's a fun day. This is truly the closest so far that we've gotten to having a house.
If you look at the original drawing of the Frank Lloyd Wright, it was 69 degrees from that tree. There we go.
That's so close to that tree.
If you guys look at the drawing, this is what he did. That's the edge of the house.
Is the tree gonna be all right?
You'll find out.
Well, I would like to not find out.
You're going to
the
find
hard
out
way.
either way. There's no guarantee about any of it.
The question is Do you like it where it is? How important is it to be accurate?
The spirit of Frank Lloyd Wright is nature and preserving that. So if he were here, he probably would say, let's get at least 10, 15 feet off of these trees. If you
Just pivot on the point.
Right, if you rotate it on the point, then you're not going to have the same views that were envisioned 60 years ago.
I don't think you should move it. I think you'd be disappointed.
So Frank knew that that tree was going to get that big. You put that house right there next to that tree like that? Like, why don't we move it over?
Because there's a reason that we don't know yet.
Okay.
We need to keep it exactly where it is.
It's going to be right where it is.
Okay.
Feel better now?
So I'm very happy. So I'm gonna go right here.
Yes.
Our hope is, if we break ground in the fall, to get it going before winter so that it will take just 1 year to do.
We have to be prepared to dig the foundation as soon as possible. They can't lay block and stone if it's below 32 degrees.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Before we actually can break ground, there are trees that are in the way. So we have to mark trees that we're gonna take down.
My wonderful tree lover daughter is going to have a difficult day because we got to take down 12 trees.
I never knew I was such a tree hugger. Like, seriously.
She's crying now.
When we did the driveway, we took down probably 30 or 40 trees, and I think she cried for weeks.
Your brother called me, shouting at me.
No.
Yes, about the tree. The tree needs to come down.
The tulip tree?
Yes.
And what did you tell him?
I just listened.
Coward. Guess he didn't want to give you much time to think about it. Let's go talk to him. She told me she had a conversation with you about the tree.
Several.
Several conversations?
Yeah, and I told her if she's as smart as I think she is, she needs to listen to her uncle that's been doing it before she was born.
Okay.
The whole point of the house,
where it is,
was defined 63 years ago.
Exactly.
By that tree.
Exactly.
And it was
and
that tall,
63
that
years
big.
ago, it might have been okay to do.
My brother has got lots of opinions.
I call him Uncle Bully more because he's a bull in the china shop and he knocks things over. But I think he thinks I call him Uncle Bully because he's a bully.
When they come down, you know what kind of aggravation you're going through to build this thing? You don't want to have to repair it. She don't like my conversation.
He has lots of opinions. He's going to have them all throughout this. He's going to tell us so we're doing all the wrong things so many times.
Until he comes to the day and he said, congratulations.
Okay.
He will.
Take my advice. It's cheap to do now, it's expensive to do later, and makes the whole job done around there a lot harder to do.
We know it does. We know it does.
Oh, money's no object here? Give me the blank check.
Come on, Bella. When they designed the house, that's a point that comes over the ledge and looks at that tulip tree. So it's been in the story and part of the plan since 1959.
We will make sure the tulip tree is not harmed.
Let's go, Boo.
Sounds good.
There it
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Oh. Wow. Did you feel the wind?
The wind. Ship as they go.
We have a lot of mulch to move now.
And the tulip is unscathed.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
The tulip tree has a lot more drama and presence.
Yes, it does.
Than it did before, because it was hiding before. And maybe it'll make it healthier, having
Maybe.
extra light. Our next challenge is to get things sourced, but most importantly, we need a general contractor before we get to winter.
I don't know about you, but I'm still completely mind blown most days about doing this. And
well, we haven't done anything yet either.
well,
I mean, really.
but it's moving. Like, we cut trees down.
Yeah, okay.
My mom and I have always been close. Not many people know this, but I put her through 36 hours of labor to make sure that I was born on her birthday, and we always celebrate together. There aren't many years that I can remember not celebrating with my mom for our birthdays. And being that we just took another step in the house, we just took down all the trees, we're gonna go celebrate our birthday. So I have a little surprise for her.
What do you have?
I've got a prize.
Kind of prize?
For our birthday, for all of our hard work and all our hard work to come.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes. Oh! Oh my gosh.
It's river rock.
That's beautiful. Love you so much. What's your wish?
1, 2, 3.
What is it?
On time and under budget. What about you?
That I live to see the end of it.
Oh, you will. Stop it.
If you're acquainted with architecture at all, you know that organic architecture is supreme. We've tried by organic architecture to eliminate the box and to liberate the human spirit in the building and relate it to its environment.
Happy groundbreaking day!
Well, we've been given this gift to build this last design from Frank Lloyd Wright.
Yay!
One of the biggest obstacles we've had is finding a general contractor.
Oh, let's get to work.
She's very bossy.
I am.
I'm not comfortable with the whole foundation digging.
Do you know what order those things need to happen in?
Well, I know you work bottom to top.
We've had some great days.
He was doing passive solar design, certainly on this house.
Seriously?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow. And we've had days that all I want to do is crawl back into bed and cry.
Steel's not coming.
Why not?
The truck broke. You can't make a cabinet smaller.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. There it goes.
The perfection has to be where it comes to in the building, and it has to be the right color.
We have enough?
We have to have enough.
No.
I am not pulling a house full of rock out of the river. It sounds awful. Here they come. That's our stone. As soon as you're excited about the one thing being done, you're like, next.
I think there's not an easy fix, but there is a fix.
This moment right now is the very first time that I'm gonna see River Rock House, which is like a huge monumental moment.